So, welcome to Boxing Media Hub. We're sponsored by Falcon Contracting and in partnership with Jams Boxing Chat. I've got a good friend of mine, and I knew her before she turned pro. I can actually say it. It's Nina Hughes. How you doing, Nina?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
You're a lot more joyful than I am. I seem more angry about this than you, but we'll get into it anyway. How are you doing? I know. Let's get straight into it, shall we? It's bizarre, I think is the best way to describe it. Absolutely mind-boggling.
Yeah. I had no words, and it's just, yeah. It's very obviously it's gutting having my world title taken away from me like that, but yeah, just hopefully can get the rematch and put it right.
Yeah. As Hawkan has said, he's a big fan of yours. Hi, Nina. Rematch has to happen next on neutral location. But who has a say on where it goes next, Nina? This is the. Does it work in her favour?
No, it's the promoters where it financially makes most sense, I guess. So yeah, we'll have to see.
Because surely, as you've been over there,
Yeah,
surely
it wouldn't be in Australia again, so it'd either have
surely it'd be here, wouldn't
in
it?
England, yeah, in England or somewhere else, wherever makes most financial sense.
Yeah. Jam has put, hi Joel, hi Nina. What happened Saturday was an absolute joke, and I'm glad Dan Hennessy will never announce another fight as he's quit his job. How did that make you feel going through that? Well, I think we saw it on the night. We saw it on the night. It was just.
I think it's just like I think throughout the fight we felt like we was ahead, and then once the fight had finished, we was quite confident that we'd won, and then obviously once they announced the result that I'd won, what we thought was confirmed, and then just to have it taken away.
Were you happy with the scorecards that they initially read out?
Yes, I mean, when I heard the draw first, I was a bit like, oh, what's that?
Oh, here we go.
Here we go. And then I heard the 98-92, and I thought, oh, I really did dominate. Like I felt like that's probably a bit wide now looking back at it, but I did fit at the time. I felt like I'd won quite a few, like majority, and then the 96-94 was probably more right. So when I heard it, I thought, oh, this sounds about right. I was quite confident they was going to say my name, and they did. You never know, because obviously you're in another country. Obviously you never know with the judging. But yeah, when I heard the scores and they said that, and still, I thought brilliant. Yeah, I was quite confident that that's how it had gone. But and then suddenly my hand was being dragged back, and I was being dragged back to the centre of the ring, and no explanation. They just started reading the scores out again, and I just knew. There's no other reason they'd read the scores out again unless they're changing it.
Yeah, and I've got the announcer here has broken his silence, shall we say? I think it went out across social media. He put, "I own it. It's all on me. I take full responsibility for the Johnson versus Hughes controversy, not the judges, not the sanction body, me. I have apologised to all involved, and now I apologise to you, the fight fans. I'm sorry for what happened again. I own it and only try to be better next time. Not my best day in the office." I think you got that right. I guess all the shit comments on socials I have coming. Again, I am crushed and sorry for my shitstorm of a performance. You all deserve better. Sorry again. All you can say is at least he's had the balls to come out and apologise. Yeah. But like we were saying, what was on the scorecard that he got totally wrong?
Yeah.
Because you're reading what's in front of you. So I don't understand.
Yeah, I'd love to see what the MC gets given, because I don't know how you can read it that wrong. He's saying he made a mistake, and maybe he did, but yeah, I don't know how. I'm sure does it not say the person's name who's won? I don't know.
So what happens next, Nina? Do we? Obviously, you've been talking to your team about it. You want a rematch. There's no doubt about that. But what happens next? How does the process go from here?
So we've got a rematch clause.
Yeah.
It all depends on the WBA. So we're hoping we've put in an appeal, and we're hoping the WBA will allow the rematch to happen and not enforce the mandatory.
So surely, as there's a rematch clause, surely that has to happen next.
Yeah, it all depends
legally.
It all depends if the WBA enforces the mandatory. If they enforced Shanika to fight the mandatory, then obviously it can't happen. But we've made a big appeal to the WBA, and we just hope they do the right thing and allow the rematch to happen first.
Yeah. It just seems as I say, mind-boggling, because this has happened, and yet, not being horrible, she's not a better fighter than you. She didn't win the fight.
Yeah.
It's almost like it's just swayed in the favour of the person who's willing to paint their body and get their boobs out.
Yep, and be in her country.
You know what I mean? And
it just felt like the whole week we had problems all week, like, because when we got there, we'd obviously asked for like neutral judges. We was told we'd get a fair. All we asked for was a fair go, and when we got there, we was given the list of judges, and we had 4 Australian officials. So we had an Australian referee and 3 Australian judges, and we was just a bit like, how is that fair? And they was like, oh, they originally appointed 4 New Zealand, but because she's from New Zealand, we said no and changed it to 4 Australian. She's lived in Australia since she was a kid, so
that's like
basically Australian now.
It's like saying we didn't pick 4 English, we picked 4 Welsh. Like,
yeah, exactly.
It's kind of like along those lines, isn't it? You just kind of.
So it was a bit like, it's obviously they're saying, no, it's cost. But then the other 2 title fights, obviously the Lubashenko one and the Maloney one, they all had completely neutral judges. So we was like, so that's not fair.
And
So
it's a world title fight.
It's a world title fight. Like, I thought it'd be different if I was going as the opponent, but I'm going as the champion. The least to her home country, I thought the least that can happen is neutral judges. That was all. We just wanted a fair shot. And then, then they finally agreed to take 2 judges off the other 2 title fights and bring them in. So then they swapped 2 of the judges for a Mexican judge and a Japanese judge. And then it was the Japanese judge that had the ridiculous scoring. And then afterwards, all we getting told was, you should have had the Australian judges. If you had the Australian judges, this wouldn't have happened. And we was like, well, what do you mean by that? So if we'd have had the Australian judges, we would have won. What they trying to say? It was just like, it was baffling, really.
Well, we've got Drink More Water, cracking name. I had a lot of money on Sugar Knees. Heart dropped when they said Nina won. Well, to be fair, you would do if you put money on her. Great performance, Nina, says Pam. Jam has said he might have been a scapegoat for bad judging. He could be owning someone else's mistake for a bit of hush money. Oh, it's so hard to.
Yeah, you
don't say anything, Nina. Don't say anything.
You can look into that don't sound right, and you don't know if it's a conspiracy. There's too many things you don't really want to go into it, but yeah, you start picking.
You just want to focus on the next fight, don't you?
Yeah, so I just think you can pick
holes
in so many different things now that I just hope I can get the rematch and put it right.
How is your contract with Diabella? Is it fight by fight?
So I've got a 5-fight deal, but obviously that's if you win.
So literally, it's like a rolling. Is it like a rolling contract?
Sound's just gone.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, Kaylin, sorry.
That's all right.
Sorry, because Sam's just picked up the earphones, so the sound's gone through the earphones. I couldn't hear.
That's all right. Is it like a rolling contract?
Yeah, so I've got a 5-fight deal, but obviously, if you keep winning, then see what happens. But yeah.
Okay, cool. Great performance, Nina. You've done very well. You definitely win that rematch. That's what she wants to hear. Complete robbery, in my opinion. Hughes won the fight easily, in my eyes, says Chris. They should order it. Well, yeah, this is the. I think when it is controversial, I think it's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Drink More Water said Sugar One is convinced. Rematch should be in the UK. I think it should be. It's only fair, really. I'd love to see you versus Dina Thorsland in the future. What a cracking fight that'd be.
Yeah, that's what we was working towards, but obviously there's a big hiccup in the way now.
But as you say, you win the rematch, you're back on track.
Yeah.
98-92 was too wide, but the right woman won. I think we're talking to the wrong woman here, mate. It was a close fight, a round or two either way. I've no problem with, but 98-92 was laughable. Agrees with Jam and Hawkan. No drug testing either on world title.
Well, we got it in the end, but only with a lot of demanding and basically saying, yeah, it's actually mandatory with the WBA that they're drug testing. And I mean, it would have been even so bad if they didn't drug test you, but they made you think you have. But we was told before the fight a couple of days that there is no drug testing. So to us, that's just like opening the door to just do what you want if you know you're
a bit more.
But, and then obviously the WBA officials were saying, no, it's mandatory. It has to be.
Yeah.
So we've started fighting. We got it in the end.
Blimey, it just sounds like a real seesaw.
We had a whole week of battles. Really, like it just felt like a lot of things were. I think I think everything that week just made it difficult. Why we was battling so many different things that we shouldn't have needed to. They should have just been automatic.
Yeah. So when would you look at hearing about a potential rematch? Is there like a cut-off?
Well, the WBA said they're going to discuss it and get back to us in a few days. So hopefully we'll find out.
Hopefully get as soon as.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, Nina, I'm gutted that we're having this chat. But at the same time, it's lovely to see you as always. And I know that you just do what you do. You get back out there and you'll fight again. And soon enough, you'll have the strap again. That's just the sort of woman that you are. You have been since you turned pro. You've been professional from start to finish. I just love your attitude that, it's happened. We move on. We just prove them wrong. But, we just prove that the right person was called in the first place. And we go again. Hawkan is jumping in right at the end. Prediction on Dina Thorsland versus Seren Settin next Saturday in Denmark. I'll be ringside for that fight. What's your prediction for that one? Tough fight. Good fight.
I think Dina will win that probably quite comfortably. Not sure if it'll be go to distance or stoppage, but yeah, I think Dina will win that.
And before we go, massive fight in boxing this Saturday in Saudi Arabia. Fury Usyk. Nina, we don't have anyone that sits on a fence on this channel.
I've been keeping getting asked this all week.
And you've probably changed your mind every time.
Yeah, it's just it's what Fury turns up. I don't know. If the best Fury turns up, I say Fury's too big and will win, but no one knows what Fury's going to turn up.
So we're sitting on the fence.
Yeah.
Because it's you, I'll let you. Honestly, Nina, it's lovely to see you, and I'm glad you're all right. And the main thing is family are all okay. And we just go again. Wait for the next few days to hear what happens next. But honestly, Nina, you're an absolute star, and I wish you all the best. And stay in touch, won't you?
Thanks a lot. Cheers.
As I say, follow Nina on all of her social platforms. She's pretty much on all of them. So give her your support and watch her get ready to gear up, ready for that next big fight again. Hopefully the rematch. So Nina, thank you very much and love to the family. Take care.
Cheers. See you later. Bye.
See you later. Bye.
Cheers. Bye.